Alright, so this is one of those stories where if it was in a movie, you'd roll your eyes and go, yeah, but that would never happen. But it did. This woman fell 33,000 feet with no parachute and somehow survived. And the craziest part? She wasn't even a daredevil or a stunt person. She was just a regular flight attendant doing her job. Her name was Vesna Vulović. And this incident happened on January 26, 1972. At the time, she was a 22-year-old working for a Yugoslavian airline. She'd only been a flight attendant for 8 months at the time of the incident. She had been assigned to fly from Copenhagen to Belgrade. The weird thing? Vesna wasn't even supposed to be on that flight. There had been a mistake in the schedule. She actually had the same first name as another flight attendant, and the airline accidentally put her name down for this flight. You can probably call her the most unluckiest person at the same time. The flight takes off from Copenhagen in the afternoon and everything seems fine, nothing unusual. They make it to their first stop in Stockholm, pick up some passengers and take off again. By the time they're crossing over Czechoslovakia, Vesna's doing her usual routine, checking on passengers, handing out drinks and performing flight attendant duties. Nobody has a clue what was about to happen. The plane is just flying over a small village in the Czech Republic when a massive explosion erupts on board. There was an actual bomb hidden in a briefcase in the baggage compartment. Back in the 70s, airport security wasn't even close to what it is now. People could just hop on the plane with pretty much anything. This blast actually ripped the airplane in half. Most of the passengers and crew were killed instantly by the explosion and decompression. But Vesna? She is in the tail section when this happens. And as the cabin loses pressure, a heavy catering cart slams into her, pinning her against the wall. Here's the craziest thing. That food cart might have saved her life. 33,000 feet, no parachute. If you're free falling from that height, you go about 120 miles per hour. And hitting the ground at that speed, well, you're not surviving. But Vesna's not falling like a skydiver. She's inside this metal shell that's tumbling through the air. It's catching some resistance and slowing down the drop from the sky just a little bit. Not enough to make it safe, but enough to buy her a chance. Then comes miracle number 2. They hit the ground on the side of a steep, snow-covered hill in a dense forest. The snow helps reduce the impact. The fall breaks the trees, smashing through everything, but slowing it down just a fraction more. Every tiny thing that could go in her favour literally happens. The wreckage is spotted by a local man named Bruno Honke, who just happens to have been a medic during World War II. He's not some random farmer. He knows exactly what to do when he hears screaming from the wreckage. He rushes over and finds Vesna, barely alive, covered in blood, with broken bones in multiple places. Her injuries are brutal. Fractured skull, 2 broken legs, crushed pelvis, and broken ribs. She goes unconscious. Bruno uses his medical skills to stabilize her until rescuers arrive, and they rush her to the hospital. Doctors put her into a coma for several days because the trauma to her brain is so severe. When she wakes up, she has no memory of the fall. In fact, she remembers boarding the plane in Copenhagen and then nothing until she's in the hospital. Recovery is slow and painful. She'd been paralyzed from the waist down for months. She'd almost spent a year in the hospital, going through surgeries, physical therapy, and learning how to walk again. Doctors tell her they've never seen anything like it. Some think her extremely low blood pressure helped her survive because it prevented her heart from bursting when the impact happened. Others point out that being unconscious during the fall meant her body was relaxed, which can actually help reduce internal injuries during extreme impacts. By the time she's released, she's a national hero in Yugoslavia. Newspapers all over the world are calling her the miracle girl. Guinness World Records even even gives her the title for highest fall survived without a parachute. But Vesna herself, she's not basking in the glory. She actually feels guilty about all the passengers and crew who didn't make it. Out of 28 people on board, she is the only survivor. She tries to go back to work, but the airline won't let her fly again because of her injuries. Instead, they give her a desk job. She lives quietly, turning down offers to exploit her story for money and fame. In later years, she became an activist, speaking out against political violence and war. Vesna keeps living in Belgrade, never getting rich or famous, just being that one woman who somehow fell from the sky and walked away. In 2016, she died in her apartment at age 66 from natural causes. And honestly, the whole thing is just unreal. She wasn't a stunt woman. She wasn't trained for survival. She was just doing her job, and a really lucky chain of events lined up in exactly the right way to give her a shot at living. Wrong flight schedule, right position in the plane, heavy food cart pinning her in place, wreckage staying intact, snow-covered forest, ex-medic in the village. Most people don't get one miracle. She got about 5 in a row.